This is a tribute to my father, Gus Rodriguez, who would have been 100 years old this year. He was born in Arecibo, Puerto Rico on Christmas Eve, 1914. His father was a native of Spain and his mother a native of Puerto Rico. He was the youngest of 4 children, Luis Jr., Rosalinda, and Violeta. Unfortunately, when my father was around 13, his mother died of cancer. I have never seen a picture of her. His father remarried a woman named Mary, and they had 2 sons, Ralph and Ramon. Unhappy with his home life, my father was easily talked into going to New York City by his best friend Louis Bermudez. They went, I was told, to follow a girl. I don't know what happened to that girl, but Louis and my father remained friends for the rest of their lives. They even married a pair of sisters. Gus met his future wife Eleanor at a dance that was hosted by my grandmother Fidelia. We called her Lila. My mother was 17 and my father 23 when they met. They married 2 years later. It was a marriage of complications. During World War II, Gus worked in Maine as a welder on submarines. He didn't talk about it much, but I always got the feeling that it was a happy time and that he was proud of what he did. They came back to New York after the war and eventually settled in the very Upper West Side of Manhattan, known as Spanish Harlem. Gus was interested in many things throughout his life, and he was very athletic. He competed as a boxer in the Golden Gloves. He learned tailoring and even made a suit for my mother. He learned upholstery, woodworking, and he got his pilot's license. He read constantly. He was elegant and well-versed, and he never even finished high school. He, along with his brother Louis, became financially successful in owning several furniture stores and an apartment building in the Bronx and in Manhattan. Things were good for a while. I was born 10 years into their marriage. My father loved children, as all my cousins can attest. He knew how to have fun and to have adventures. I was a lucky daughter. He was generous to a fault with his time and his money. He loved to make things, and he was the one who made all the decorative decisions in our home. When he bought the house in Riverdale in 1955, he spent endless, busy hours inside the house and out. He built furniture. He finished the basement, adding an elaborate bar he made with lights and etched glass. He grew roses, hydrangeas, tulips, and planted a gardenia bush near the living room window so that we could smell its fragrance at night when we watched TV. He took pride in having one of the first color televisions and a new car every single year, usually a Cadillac. He dressed impeccably. I remember marveling at his extensive, neat closet. He never just sat around. There was always something to make better, more attractive, more efficient. On vacation, usually to Miami or Puerto Rico, he was busy teaching me to swim, taking out his family to very nice dinners, playing putt-putt, and renting a new car every day. We rarely stayed with family. He liked hotels, good hotels, like the Hilton. My parents separated in 1963. During this time, the furniture stores were floundering. He had also started a men's clothing store that, after being open only 1 week, was broken into and every single piece of clothing was stolen. After about 15 years in furniture, he became disinterested, and at around 1965, he left it to buy into a nightclub in Harlem called Los Violines. He was always attracted to the glamour side of life, so it seemed like a good fit, and in the beginning it was. But the hours got very long, and the troubles in owning a nightclub in Harlem in New York in the 70s became overwhelming. I had married and was living in Florida. He didn't seem as happy. Finally, the club was closed. It was hard to see my father, a self-made man with so many talents, trying to figure out what to do next. He eventually opened another furniture store in downtown Brooklyn, but his heart wasn't in it. When my son Ben was born in 1968, he seemed reinvigorated. He loved his grandson tremendously. Their feelings were mutual. Although the latter part of Gus's life was difficult because of business and health issues, he never lost his elegance or his commitment to me and my son Ben. His death was early and tragic. He died of lung disease at the age of 65. Each time I see a new electronic device, a new scientific discovery, exciting new fashion or home design, I always think, my father would love to see this. I miss him.